Howdy folks, welcome back to Not My Arc. This is Lake 44, Utah, over 50 state series. We're on the home stretch and we're back in the B1900D. And in the end of the previous leg, I was going to say episode, I guess you call it episode or leg, whatever. I talked about how I have a renewed interest in this B1900D, and I briefly want to talk about that because that's the point of this channel, is to talk about more than just going up and going down, right? So this was the very first payware aircraft I purchased because my kids flew on it in real life. It was their very first airplane ride. I wasn't there, unfortunately. And it's also been my favorite aircraft in X-Plane 11 period. The 727 is a very, very, very close second. And the Beaver by Soulmate Sim, which is completely broken, was also very, very up there. But the ultimate favorite aircraft for X-Plane, or X-Plane in general, not just X-Plane 11, X-Plane in general, is this Carenado B1900D. This is X-Plane 11 version, but I've been flying this ever since the X-Plane 10 version came out. However, it is no secret that I've been very frustrated with it because of the landing problem. The landing problem being that when you get close to the ground, if you land the way you're supposed to, you get sucked into the ground. Now, there are ways to circumvent that by like goosing the throttle at just the right time and doing this and doing that, which you don't need to do in real life, and it's actually very, very, very challenging in the sim. I've done it maybe twice out of 40 landings, and that's even knowing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I've been very frustrated by this gyro thing too, which isn't even modeled in this aircraft. That's why you get that warning. Anyway, I've been very frustrated with the landing things. I haven't been flying it as much. I've been really frustrated with it. I've been vocal about my frustrations. And the people are leaving comments. Whenever they talk about my bad landings, it's only this aircraft. Why? Because it's broken. Also, people have been saying, oh, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. There's not really a problem. You just don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. They'll send me videos of themselves landing it. And when I watch their own videos, they too have the suction problem. They just don't know it because they're coming in way too fast. So I took to the forums. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am crazy after all. So I went to the forums and I did my research and I was reading the most recent posts, which I wasn't part of. And lo and behold, it is now common knowledge that this airplane has a problem. So it's not me. I would say it's common knowledge at this point that this aircraft, and only this aircraft for some reason, has a problem. There's a turboprop getting sucked into the ground. So that gets me excited, right? Because it's not my problem. So we're going to fly this and love it as much as we always have. And if it gets sucked into the ground, that's what happens in this aircraft, right? I did read a post several months back. It was posted that the designer is planning or could be planning on updating this airplane with a patch to fix the lack of backdraft, whatever you want, the suction problem, to fix it, but they're waiting until 11.3 is stable. Now, 11.3 is in beta right now at the time of this recording, and that post I read was long before 11.3 was even in beta. So hopefully they'll stick to what they said and they will offer a patch, because a lot of people love this aircraft. This is, aside from the suction problem, I believe this is still one of Carenado's best aircraft that they offer. I haven't tried the DO228. I'm planning on getting that soon, I think, if I can get some play money. And that might be even a better aircraft. But I still think this is one of Carenado's best. So I definitely think it'd be worth it for them to come up with a patch. Even if they just get rid of that tick box that models that suction thing, just to get rid of it. Now, hopefully they fix that gyro thing too. That gyro warning shouldn't be here because this airplane doesn't have the suction gyro thing. Therefore, that warning to sink the gyros shouldn't exist. But because it wasn't modeled, and now it is in the sim, that's another problem. So anyway, those two problems, I really hope they do offer a patch. I have no control over it. I'm nobody in the flight sim world. I'm just saying, I really hope, Carenado, that when 11.3 is final, you do offer a patch for this airplane, because this is one of your best airplanes, I feel. And I'm going to start flying it again more, and I hope others do too. But we're all disappointed in the suction thing. And we know it's not Carenado's fault. It's not their fault. The simulator is always changing what is simulated, what isn't, and they can't offer a patch every couple months, every time something changes or gets updated in the simulator. And my big Maine Coon wants to fly with us. Come on, Maine Coon, got it here. Go. Jeez, he's huge. He's a runt and he's still huge. So anyway, I wanted to give that introduction. Yes, that was a 5-minute introduction. Sorry, but this has been on my mind for a very long time. So I took to the forums, realize I'm not crazy after all. And seems like there might be some hope. So let's get flying this thing and do what we're here for today while I have some time in real life to get a flight or two in here. So let's see. We already have everything set up, ready to go. Everybody can start boarding. I really have to get this cat out of here. Oh, no, he's going to lie down. Okay, it's just he pushed his buttons. One time he actually made me crash because he pushed the buttons on my keyboard. Didn't know what he did. Airplane's turned off and crashed. Okay, buddy, you stay over there. You stay over in the corner. I break my work stuff instead. All right, so everybody is boarding. Let's see, what are we going to do? We're going to hop up here. GPU is connected, external power is connected. That's why the lights and everything are working. And what is he knocking over? He's knocking over my Employee of the Month plaque. Whatever, I should really get that on the wall. Okay, fuel, weight and fuel. Let's go up here because that's how we do this in this aircraft. And we're doing, how far are we going today? 100 nautical miles. Let's do hour 45, just in case I screw up. Hoping to be in the air by 8:30. Simulator time. We'll see how this goes. All right, let's hop down here. Let's hide this thing. Actually, I have a preset for that. There we go. And turn on the battery. And then external lighting. We got the half light on. We're trying to recog now. That stays the way it is. That's internal lighting over there. There we go. Remove static elements. We'll come outside for that and spin around so that we can see what's going on. Static elements go away. Baggage door goes away. Get that all closed up. Remove doors. For here, we'll do this on the inside. We normally do this outside, but let's do it inside today. I know there's a click spot. Oh, I just saw it. There it is. There we go. Doors closed. There is no turning back, people. You've been warned. You were flying with 50 nautical mile arc. I don't know if you've heard the stories, but wear your headphones, wear your seatbelt, and just don't think about it until we get there. That's how we fly. Close the cabin door too and lock it. We're also going to close the wing windows because I always forget. And we end up with some loud sounds. Our emergency lighting, not go to normal. Again, finding the right click spot. Normal, normal, and went away. But we still have the lights on for right now till I get to the runway. All right, EFIS, come here. Where are you? There you go. Turn that on. All righty, parking brake is set. I think it's down here in this one. Yes, like I said, it's been a while since I've flown this. Feels like it. Maybe it hasn't been as long as I thought. But I used to fly it all the time. We've done an entire series on this channel where all we did was fly this thing for quite a while. All right, turn all that on. Main tank, but we view auxiliary first because we use auxiliary first. Let's see here. Check my things. There we go. And jam that back. So just a weird Windows thing I got to work out. Okay, so let's see here. Igniter, we'll do left today first because we can. And where's my switch? There we go. Wait till that gets to about 15 to 18, and then I'll introduce the conditioners all the way to high idle. Both conditioners are on the same axis on my yoke, so they're both going to go up. That's just the way it is. And there's 15, and sometimes it goes up on its own, and this time it's going to drop. So let's keep going more, and then it should take off about 22. There you go. All right, we'll let that stabilize a moment. And 62.9, turn on the generator, do the right engine. And that should shoot up faster because the conditioners are already set. And there you go, 62.9. Right generator, close the cap. And we're going to do here, auto igniters off. And avionics switch. AC bus. Sync gyros, which we already did a long time ago. Turn off the external power. And rudder boost, which is between the seats. There we go. Climate. Turn all this stuff on. Hide that a second. Test the stall. Or overspeed. This is the stall. We'll do auto temp. Oh. Do the blowers turn on now? That is so cool. I like that so much. Alright, let's see here. Flight plan. Not really. I mean, we have a plan, but it's not terribly sophisticated. Let's just delete what's in there, and I'll tell you what we're going to do. So we're at Bryce. Is this Bryce? Yeah, Bryce Canyon Airport in Bryce Canyon, Utah. And we're going to do a simple, pretty much, again, VFR flight for the most part. We're going to use GPS just so we can set autopilot to do our sightseeing. But for the most part, it's VFR. and visual landing on whichever runway is most appropriate for the weather when we get there. So that's all it is. Nothing complicated at all, but we do need to get, is it uniform 9 or 6 or where is it? Yeah, uniform 9-6 in here. There we go. And it's called, what is it? Cal Black. Oh, I thought that would be aviation. It really is Cal Black. We'll go direct there. Direct we go. And what is it? 77 nautical miles? Okay, so it's 100 if you drive it, 77 if you fly it. And we're going to put in our line so you knows where we're going. Looks like we're going behind us. Otherwise, not too bad. There we go. Just next door. And we'll follow the GPS just to get us in the area because we don't know the area. And then once we find the airport, based on weather, we'll just pick a runway to land visually. And we're going to cruise 77 nautical miles. That's not very high. So we're only going to do, let's do 12,000 today. Kind of low, but let's do 12,100 just because we can. All right, there we go. Flight plan. It is hit CDI for GPS, so we can use autopilot on that. Let's get our Avidyne set up, decluttered a little bit. Barometer. Actually, let's turn this on too, just in case. Yeah, stand by. Barometer, altimeter. Let's see. Where are we at Bryce? What is the weather? 260 degrees at 10 knots. First of all, 3017. Whoa. 3017. There we go. So 260 at 10. Strong enough wind. So whatever number is closest to 26, which would be 21, which is all the way on the other side of where we are. So 21 will be this runway. So we'll turn right and then taxi all the way down to runway 21. Just like that. Alrighty, simple enough. What is next here? We already tested that. Let's test the lights. Make sure all of our idiot lights show up like they should. Alright, good. Turn that off. Cabin pressure, we already bleed air valves, so the rest of it's down here. We are going to fly at 12,000, so let's make this 13,000, which should be right at the bare minimum. Yes, it is. So we don't really need to worry about it too much. Auto feather to arm. Where are you? You're down here somewhere. Where are you? There you go. Auto feather to arm. Generator ties closed. Anti-ice, stall warning, pitot heat, all that good stuff. Just like that. Prop sync on. Autopilot, we already did the cruise altitude. So let's get autopilot set up. Simply going to be follow the GPS and climb at 2,200 feet per minute. There we go. Very nice. That's it. So now we're ready to taxi, I believe. Yes, we are. Taxi lights can come on. Let's turn those on too right now instead of at the runway. Taxi view. Oh, let's turn these back plates off. Turn you off. There we go. Alright, so wow, the plane looks gigantic here. Obviously, this isn't the right spot to take off from. But anyway, what we're going to do, conditions are low idle. Props to taxi. And give it some gas, parking brake off. And let's get out of this grass. Come on. Oh, you can do it. You can do it. Here we go. Once it gets on that pavement, it should go pretty fast. Come on. What are you stuck on? Go. Why is it stuck? Is parking brake on? Weird. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Whoa, let's slow that thing. Okay, see, we had parking brake problems. We've had parking brake problems in the past, too. Where, hang on, let me get this under control, because this is ridiculous. We've had parking brake problems in the past, where what it indicates on the lever in the airplane has nothing to do with what it's doing. I always thought it was me. Maybe not. Maybe it's a simulator thing. I have no idea. But anyway, we're rolling now. Holy cow, that was pretty dramatic. Not even in the air yet, we're having drama. And my camera's all screwed up. I'm not touching a thing. That's the camera doing its own thing. Anyway, let's get flaps down first notch. Let's slow this plane down. Good grief. This is pretty unrealistic. Come on. I got my throttles all the way back. I'm trying to do some braking. Come on. Normal braking doesn't work very well either. Okay, there we go. Normally I set my braking to hard braking when I fly this particular plane, but I'm going to try not to. Takes a long time to slow down. Alrighty, nice view of the mountains in Utah. Very, very nice. Yes, I did know there are mountains in Utah. And that's a reference to my previous flight in Texas. When I didn't realize there were mountains in El Paso. I'm having a really hard time doing this circle thing while we fly and do this. So this is pretty ridiculous. It's a terrible, terrible, unrealistic way to start. So I'm just going to meet you at the end of the runway, give myself a chance to reset my brain. I'll meet you in a moment. Alright, my brain has been reset. I'm just noticing that, considering how long these runways are, I would imagine some good-sized planes would land here, at least like 727 type, right, A321 type, or A91, whatever. The smaller regional jets would probably land here, but this taxiway is really tiny, considering. So I don't know if that's an oversight of whoever modeled it. Just use the default taxiway. Not sure. Speaking of that, I haven't modeled in airplanes myself or airports in a really long time. Alright, quiet day, so we're actually going to just go out onto the runway here. And then we'll set up everything else and get ready to take off. We have a few things yet to do, but we got to get on the runway first. Looks like we have a little bit of a crosswind from the right, which is to be expected. And, oh, I missed it by just that much. Set the parking brakes. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So right now the parking brake is up, but that doesn't always mean it's up, and vice versa. It can be pretty strange. Oh, I've never used the FMS in this, ever. I never thought about that before. Anyway. Alright, what do we need to at the end of the runway? Let's see here. Flaps, confirm flaps down. Yes, they are. We need to get our lights set up the right way. Overhead and cabin go off. Reading lights stay on. Fasten seatbelt stay on. So now it looks like that. Alrighty. Taxi lights can come off. Landing lights can come on. And, whoops, I just started on the left, working my way across. And my giant Maine Coon is back. Oh, well, anti-collision to flight it is. Nav lights on, they already are. Trim for takeoff. Actually, it's fine just like that. And heading bug, that's just in case I screw up autopilot. It'll, hello. There we go. Yes, I hear you, cat. His name is Squirrel, by the way. He actually looks like a gigantic squirrel. Alright, oh, I just knocked him in the head. Dude, you're really bugging me here. Alright, so the reason why he's bothering me is because the kids are gone, so he can relax. He likes to hang out with me when the kids are gone. Anyway, clock has started. Conditioners forward. Props forward. I feel like we're forgetting something, but we're not. I'm sure of it. I was going to show you the flaps thing. See, flaps down. That's what I was going to show you. All right, let's see. Parking brake off. Is it off for real this time? It is. Throttle's completely forward. Maine Coon nudging my left ear with his sharp claws, and he's really distracting me. I don't know if you can hear him scraping me in the microphone, but he's there. Oh, terrible timing there, kitty cat. He just knocked everything off my desk. Hang on, we'll get in the air and set autopilot, and then I'll bring my microphone closer and you'll be able to hear me. Flaps and gear coming in. Oh, that's terrible. Cat, way to go. Let's get our climb rate at 22. And I'll engage autopilot right now. That'll flip us back, and I gotta reset everything on my desk. Okay, I think we are back. So anyway, flaps are in, gear is up. We're gonna let this thing turn us around, and then we're gonna slowly bring back throttles and props so that we don't blow anything up. There we go. Probably not that much yet. So at the top of the stack, greens all the way down, and they are. There we go. We'll calculate VNAV in a second. Let's hop outside though. Oh, is that going to turn us all the way past it? Oh, it just really wants to get right. Wants to go directly to that pink line. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's take some screenshots while we can, and regroup yet again. So there's our runway. We made a complete U-turn, of course. Looking good. Thank goodness for autopilot, huh? Nice views out the window. I really like the wing views on this thing. I like everything about this aircraft except that silly landing thing. But anyway, I wonder what that plot of land is over there just going out of the window. Let's check the other side. Looking good there too. Very nice. There is a name for this one. It's the Kaiparowits Plateau. Kaiparowits Plateau. Oh, really? Yeah, climbing altitude. I guess I didn't check our departure altitude. Let's go a little bit higher. This is a little bit let's hit 14 on this. So we're gonna do that. And we are going to climb again. And let's climb again let's do 1600 to top that off. There we go. Piece of cake. Alright, I'm going to get landing lights on because the elevation is so high, ground elevation, that we're not really ever going to be that high above the ground. So let's just keep the landing lights on. Let's look out the window and check out this terrain. But yes, there's a name for this. Kaiparowits Plateau. Apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. But that's where we are. And that was how I chose this area to fly in Utah. We've done several Utah flights. We've done Salt Lake City a couple times and a few other things. So wanted to do something new. Isn't that an amazing shot? Otherwise, I think that is it. Let's just do vertical navigation here. Or VNav. And what do we want to do? So it's a visual approach. I don't want any information about the airport. I should probably get the elevation, which I'll do right now. 4,388 feet. So 4,300. Let's come in about how high above do we want to go? Let's do about 800 feet. I'll figure it out from there. So let's do 800 feet at the at the airport at 800 feet per minute. And wants us to come down already. Oh, good grief. Okay, fine. We'll come down at 1,000 feet per minute. Okay. Wow, this isn't going very smoothly at all, is it? Alrighty, let's kind of figure out 63. What? Really? Okay, fine. So let's bring this down to 800 feet. Wow. Okay. Let me get this reset. 800 feet. I guess this is 2,000. And see, I'm really nervous about that with this terrain. I don't know. I don't know if I like this. We might not really follow that because it's making me nervous. But clearly we're over a plateau. That's the whole point of this. So without further ado, we're cruising. We're already descending. Strange. Whatever. 12 minutes out. We're hauling too. That's probably why we're going like 220. I'm going to keep an eye on our speed as we come down. I'm going to adjust our descent rate so we don't crash into this plateau. You get some sightseeing, and it's going to be a very short flight. My introduction is going to be longer than my flight. Anyway, I'll catch you in a couple minutes. Alright, I've given myself a chance to regroup again. I feel like it's been kind of a messy video, but you know, that's okay. Because the scenery out here has been worth it. I mean, this is awesome. I love how the... Oh, weather's a pain. I love how the plateau is modeled in this thing, and it goes all the way to the south. Look at that, and there is a line. That is so awesome. What do you think? You can't quite see from back there yet. But anyway, it is time to get our destination weather so that we know what we got to do. So U96, lighting variable, so it doesn't matter. 3014, however, so let's bring that to 3014. 1 and 19. So neither runway good for what we're doing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come in straight, I think. And we'll do cross Airfield. And let's do a right close traffic this time. Normally we do left. Well, let's do right just for variation, which means we'll land on runway 1. Shouldn't be a big deal. Should be pretty straightforward, actually. Good. So no weather to worry about. That'll make things easier. Otherwise, what do we need to do? Keep an eye on our VSR. Come on, weather. 1,079 and sticking there. Good. So what's our speed at then? We're booking right along. Wow. Okay, so when we get within, let's see, we're 8 minutes now. We get within like 3 minutes. I'll slow us down to flapping gear speed. And then we'll do a close traffic pattern. It's a little bit more sightseeing for you. Nothing else to do. Landing lights are already on. We just have to make sure we don't run into this second train up here, because I believe the airport's just after that train. Yikes. We might have to make adjustments, because even though the runway is at 3,000 feet, this train seems to be a little higher than 3,000 feet. I think we're going to level off till we clear this, and then when we get to that water, then we'll come down. So I'm going to bring up autopilot, and I'm going to level us off. But that'll keep everything else set, though. I'll just, resume our descent once we clear this train. So I'm going to navigate this airplane, try not to crash, and give you all some sightseeing. And I'll catch you again in a moment. We're just about ready to resume our descent. Now, because we're going to cross the airfield and circle to land, we don't have to be at our desired altitude when we cross the airfield, right? Because that would be for the airfield, but we're going to be going around. So we're going to adjust this a little bit, and we are going to actually make this 1,200 feet. And that's telling us 17. We still have to come down 17, though. That's quite a bit. So let's come out here. Let's bring this to a steep descent. Like it says, let's do 16, because we can always have a bigger pattern to buy us more time. And we'll start slowing this plane down a little bit. Let's get closer to 200 right now, just so we get more time out of it. In fact, let's not go quite that steeply yet. There we go. Not going to worry about that anymore. We're just going to put this in here so we know where we are in relation to the airport. I don't see it yet, but it should be out there just beyond that water. Alright, we're just going to hang out here. I realized when I set my desired altitude is for, I was thinking 1,000 feet above ground level, so I set it to 1,000 instead of 4,300. So we're going to keep it at that. I leveled this off actually because the train is still pretty high here. I mean, we're at 5,300 feet, and we're pretty close to the ground, even though the airport is only 3,000. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen to the train at the airport. Or the sim could be off a little bit. I've had that happen too. Or I have exactly followed a flight plan in terms of descent, and it puts us way too high or sometimes into the ground because it doesn't quite line up with the simulator. So we have to be careful about that. So we're going to go visual now. GPS is going to point us at the airport, which is 3 miles out, 3.8. Now it's 2 miles out and I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Just rendered in, I think. I think that's it right here, isn't it? There you go. Just as I said, I don't see it rendered in. So this is going to take us right over the airport. And now the elevation all makes sense. So let's slow this thing down, get ready for our traffic, because we got to be careful, because the train clearly climbs very quickly. So let's kill autopilot, which we're going to do by hand because that seems to work better. There we go. And there's our airport. Let's make our close traffic. There we go. And gear and flaps are still up. But we're going to make like an elongated traffic pattern here because the train is climbing rapidly. Let's keep that speed up though. Let's not drop below 180 quite yet. And I should have set our heading bug. Well, we know the runway is runway 1, so 10 degrees plus 180 is 190. So when we're facing 190 down here, we'll know we're parallel to the runway. There's 180, and there is 190. So let's go like that. Let's also hit the heading bug. Boom. So now we know the runway is opposite our direction. And we have to make a pretty sharp turn around because this train is approaching quickly too. This is a lot more delicate of a flight than I thought it was going to be. Because when I read Plateau, I thought it was going to be this big flat area, several thousand feet above sea level, but it's not. There's a lot of terrain to deal with here. But that's okay. This is very enjoyable. Like I said, it hasn't been the smoothest flight. Alright, let's slow this plane down and make a rather steep U-turn, coordinate the turn as best as I can. There we go. Not too bad. Try to pick a spot and turn on it. And we're descending, but that's okay. There we go. Alright, we'll be back looking at the runway in a moment, I hope. Any second now. Hopefully we're high enough we can still see it. Alright, we're flying runway heading now. I don't see it though. That's the problem, is I don't see the runway. Yes, I do. We are exactly parallel to it, so we missed it. So gear down, first set of flaps down, props forward, throttles back. Oh, come on. Float, float, float. Please don't float. Come down very steeply. Coming in high, that's okay. One red on the pappy, that's good. There we go. Why do I feel like we have a crazy crosswind when we shouldn't? Second set of flaps now, cause us to float. A little bit of throttles in. Keep an eye on that pappy. And I'm going to have us go very slowly, and then I'm just going to goose the throttle to see if we can avoid the suction that way. And then see if we get somewhat of a smooth landing. So there's our slow speed. Very slow speed. And then goose the throttle so it won't get sucked down. Is it going to work? It might a little bit. Too much throttle. See, that's the problem. If you try to circumvent. There we go, there we go. We got it. Nose go down smoothly. Brakes, reversers. See, the problem is if you try to circumvent the suction, sometimes it just makes it more difficult than it's worth. But we actually had a smooth touchdown. We floated, which I don't like, but we had a smooth touchdown, so it can be done. It's just not realistic, and it's kind of frustrating. But we did it. Very nice. Didn't slam the nose wheel down either. Let's keep slowing down here with these crazy brakes. See, the brakes hardly do anything. Barely. See, oh, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. We made it. There we go. Alrighty, let's stop here at the stop sign and get the lights turned off and everything. So stop. See, this is as slow as you can go with the brake. It won't even stop it. See, look at that. Until you do a parking brake, and then it slams down. Actually, I want to show you replay this landing. So I'll show you what I did. I came down to stall on purpose, and then I gunned it. You can hear it. Hear it? That's to circumvent the suction. It causes us to float a little bit because I did too much, but check this out. Boom. Smooth touchdown, smooth nose wheel down, but way much further down the runway than we needed to be. So, like I said, it can be done. It's just not realistic to do it that way, and it actually adds like 3 more layers of difficulty than just landing the doggone plane. But anyway, I'm happy with it. Let's hop back to real time and let's turn these lights off and all that other stuff we're supposed to be doing right now. Alright, so here we are. Let's see. What do we need to do? We need to stop the clock. So what was that, 24-minute flight time or so? Where am I here? There we go. Get the correct lights going. So taxi lights on, landing lights off. Those can go back to flight. Everybody can have their things back so they can gather their belongings. Flaps in already. Props to taxi. Conditioners to low idle. And let's taxi. That sign said ramp. So let's just. Well, now the parking brake is working the right way. Let's try to get over to this ramp here and enjoy the mountains in the background. Again, decent sized runway, but very, very narrow taxiways. Alright, we're going to go pretty much to the main building here because everyone is very excited to see the flying forehead. And here we go. Let's just park here. And again, that's his... Oh, there we go. I've also noticed too, if you kind of bump the rudders, it'll actually stop you too sometimes, which I don't understand, but maybe there's enough friction there. Alrighty, let's see here. Come down here, props back. Best sound in the world. Fuel back. All these lights can come off now. Actually, we'll keep those on, and we'll do external power as well. There we go. Then people can get their things like so, and they can get out. Let's get that open, and then we'll open this so people can complain to us. Get these windows open. External power is already on, so we can turn off the generators and batteries and avionics and all these other little fun switches. Otherwise, that's all we have to do for right now. Get that. Oh, come on. Get the big door open. Get the static elements out. And there we go. Utah. Welcome to Utah from Utah. Over the Plateau. This flight was messy enough that I could redo it, but that's not the point of this YouTube channel. I do not do necessarily polished professional type flying. I call it flight simulator or flight simulation for the rest of us. I try to represent what the normal hobbyist does, not the hobbyist that flies 12 hours a day and has loads of money, sponsorships coming in. The rest of us, this is how the rest of us fly. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's rough, but we did it. Circumvented the suction thing. So despite my 5-minute spiel in the beginning, which is still true, I was also able to demonstrate you can work around it. It just takes a lot of work, but we did it. I'm gonna try that again next time, where I stall it and then goose it, and then land a little beyond touchdown zone. Seems to be okay. We'll try that again next time I fly this. Which, looking at my flight list, I don't know when we're flying this next. It's not even on my list. We'll fly it again soon, though. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the flight. I certainly did. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for continuing support. If you found me by accident, please like, please subscribe. Please share with your friends. Let people know that I exist. Still shooting for that big 500 subscriber thing, which in this genre is kind of a big deal. Kind of exciting, right? So I think that is all I have to say. And I'll see you, what's like 45 is Vermont? I'll see you in Vermont.